some drills that we'll do. Some drills that we'll do, okay, and then at the end I want to come back in here, and I've got a video of some different West Coast offense teams. It was like a kind of like a highlight tape that G. Christ, who's our offensive coordinator at the Chargers, put together of 49ers, Packers, you know, a few West Coast offensive teams, because they do an excellent job with this whole thing. So that's we'll have the video at the end, but we'll probably have to do, I know last night I said I don't like to do a lot of video, but what we'll probably do, and it's good that we have a smaller group, we'll kind of get everybody up here in the front, and we'll get in front of the screen. But anyway, I think, first of all, I think this whole concept of blocking after the catch, before we get into the running after the catch, blocking after the catch, I think is very much tied in with what we talked about last night in the first session, just in general about blocking. Developing an attitude among your offense, your team, your offense, and among your receivers that they need to be unselfish, and they need to do everything they can to help their team, help the other guys, and then also know that that's going to be the same thing, that other guys are going to be doing the same thing for them. I think there's a lot of key plays that can happen as a result of this, and I think what you got to do is use some motivating techniques, films, that kind of thing, and that's why this tape I'm going to show you toward the end of our session this morning, I think is really good, because it shows a lot of instances where there was a block after the catch that made the difference on a play. Made it a much bigger play. Okay, I think something that's very important about blocking after the catch, okay, is that it needs to be always going sideways or upfield. Ideally, you'd like it to be always going upfield, okay? So in other words, anytime a guy does not get the ball, he should not be blocking back. In other words, let's just say, and we're gonna do a drill out on the field today, but let's just say the classic combination you've got. Say you've got a curl. Okay, this is one of our base plays. You got a curl, you got the tight end doing that, and you got the back swinging. Okay? If the ball goes to the back, what these guys should not be doing is coming back this way, okay, to block. What they should be doing is, at the very least, blocking sideways, but ideally what you'd like them to do is, as soon as they see the ball's going to this other guy, is pop around and find somebody upfield to block. And most likely there's going to be a guy over the top of them that's covering the deep outside, or got them man-to-man, whatever the case may be. And if they don't get around fast enough to block that guy, they can go block the safety. But it will be definitely sideways or upfield. I think that's very important. Same thing is true for the tight end. As soon as he runs his route, he doesn't get the ball, he should be working up the field in the area where that guy's going, but working up the field. Do not go back, okay? Don't go back, because that's where you get clips. That's where you just end up. Those are not the blocks that make plays bigger, okay? The blocks that you want are the ones that are going sideways or going up the field, okay? Okay. I think very obviously, but very important, is you're emphasizing hustle and effort. okay? Hustle and effort. You want, you know, the whole deal is an up-tempo, fast break type of attitude. This is the type of attitude that we want in our offense. And so we want guys hustling, we want guys making great effort. And that's all tied in with this whole idea and emphasis of blocking after the catch. Okay, now, I think this is as important, more important, whatever you want to define it as. But I think receivers and slots running after the catch is critical. Okay? There are a lot of times you can throw a ball for a 5-yard completion, and if the guy does a great job, and he doesn't have to have great running ability, but if he gets upfield right now, splits defenders, gets upfield right now, you can turn plays that are 6-yard catches into huge plays. We've all seen them, okay? We've all seen them. And that, the thing that you want to emphasize on this is you always want to be going upfield. You never want to go backward or sideways, okay? Always upfield, never backward or sideways. Okay, and this, you know, we've all seen the classic scenario of, you know, it's 3rd and 7, and the guy catches an 8-yard completion, and he tries to make it into a big play rather than just trying to get vertical up the field, and he goes back and he loses yards and you have to punt. Okay, that's the kind of thing that drives you crazy as a coach. Okay? And this, good morning. This is, I think this is critical. And like I said, we're going to do some drills out on the field that emphasize this. But what you want to do is you want to get those guys going up the field right away. Up the field right away. Not going sideways, not doing that. You want them to get up the field. And there's some things, what you want to do is ingrain this in them after they catch the ball of getting up the field. Now, one of the things that's you know, that there's a fine line here as far as emphasis, okay? If you overemphasize this, you're going to have that whole deal where guys are trying to run before they catch the ball, okay? Number one thing, obviously, but I'll say it, is look the ball into the catch all the way. One of the things that I do with guys, and it seems very elementary and basic, but I think those are the most important things, is every time we play catch as receivers, I want them to tuck the ball away. Okay, so in other words, like they're just playing, catching the ball, and they're just across from each other playing catch, or they're warming up the quarterback. Say there's, you know, a quarterback and a receiver stand side by side, quarterback, receiver stand side by side, quarterbacks are filling, receivers are catching. Every time they catch a ball, I want them to look it all the way into their hands and then look it into the tuck. Okay? And what this causes, when you look the ball all the way into your hands and then look it into the tuck, what that's going to cause them to do is, obviously, it's going to make them concentrate on the ball the longest time possible. So in other words, if all you talk about is looking the ball into your hands and not beyond that, then if they don't, I guess the point that they're going to start turning away and looking upfield to run is right as the ball's coming, okay? But if you emphasize looking in and tucking it away, and they get in the habit of looking in here, then what will end up happening is, after they catch it and they start to tuck away, then their head will start to turn away, okay? And obviously, you'd much rather have that than have their head turning away as the ball's coming, okay? So the first thing is, they got to catch the ball. They got to look the ball away into their hands, look the ball into the tuck the ball away tight. Okay, then You want them to get upfield, and you want them to get vertical right now, okay? Not sideways. You want them to get vertical right now. And like I said, we're going to have some drills out on the field to emphasize this. Okay? Okay. Okay, let's go. I know this is quick, but let's go out on the field, and I want to go through a couple of things out here. I want to just kind of show a drill that you can do for this. Okay. Okay. Let's just if you can, I need three volunteers to come out. Okay. Okay. You be the wide receiver on the outside. You be a tight end. Fullback. Or just be a tailback. Go ahead and be a tailback. You're going that way. I'm the quarterback. Okay, now, just taking that, what we just did, I want you to run a curl at 12 yards. I want you to run a sit route right over the middle, 5 yards, turn back to me. I want you to just swing to the right. Okay, now. Okay, go ahead, just jog. Okay, we're not going full speed. Okay, each of you are going to you're going to run your route, okay? And on the progression for the quarterback is the quarterback's going 5 steps and throwing the curl on the 5th step, okay? If he doesn't have the curl, he's going to throw the flat defender's underneath the curl, he's going to go to the swing. So that guy's going to know if he's getting the ball, usually, if he gets the ball fast. Okay, so you're going to come around, you're going to be ready to get the ball, you won't get the ball. Okay, you're going to run your sit route, you're going to know that you're probably going to get the ball 3rd. So once the ball goes to him, you know you're not getting the ball, okay? So, let's get, I need 2 more volunteers. Okay, you be a free safety and you be a corner. Like cover 3. 3 deep zone. Okay, now. Okay, what you guys, on the snap of the ball, you guys just back up a little bit, just take a few steps back, okay? And then break the way you would break when the ball is thrown. Okay, and I'll tell everybody that, after I throw the ball, okay, I'll tell everybody to stop where they are, okay? Okay, here we go. Set, go! Stop. Okay, go ahead and turn around. Whoa, stop. Turn around. Okay, defensive back, stay deeper. That was a deep 12 yards. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the ball's gone to him. You know the ball's gone to him, okay? You know the ball's gone to him. Now both of you guys turn right now, upfield. You guys start to break on the ball. Defenders, you guys turn right upfield and block them. And go ahead and start going. Okay. Okay, now, that would be an example of a drill where obviously you're working on the route, you're working on the quarterback's throwing, the whole deal, but you're also working on the receivers blocking. Stay out here, guys, for a second. Receivers blocking after the catch. Okay. Now you can change up. Obviously, I gave you a very basic route there, but you can change up. You can do it for any route that you have that applies to your offense. I gave you kind of a generic type of route there, but you can apply it to anything. Any kind of a situation where you have receivers down the field and the ball has gone to somebody underneath and they have to get turned, they don't get the ball and they have to get turned right now and block upfield. Where the emphasis of the drill is that. Okay? Okay. So like I said, you can change up and do it with a lot of different plays. Let's say for example, let me think of another example here. Okay, let's do this. Let's go, you go ahead and be the wide receiver outside. Okay? Okay. Let's say we've got, let's just say we've got the tight end. The tight end is running a option route. Okay? You're just going to go up 6 yards and turn out. Okay? And the guy on the outside over here is going to run a dig over the top. Okay? You're still going to be the safety. Okay? And I'll tell you what. No, you come back and be a back. Okay, you're right here. You're going to go up and run like a read route out here, about 4 yards deep. You're going to turn out. Okay, now what's going to happen now? You're going to get depth. When you see the ball go to him, instead of just running, you're going to turn immediately and go up and block the safety. Okay. This guy's going to end up being unblocked unless we have a fullback or somebody out there to block him. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to see that you don't get the ball and you're going to turn up immediately and block. Okay, here we go. Turning out at 6 yards. Okay, set, go! Okay, he gets the ball. Now you turn up right now and you emphasize that. You have your guys go attack the defender. Okay, go block them right now. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and give me the ball. Okay, that would be a couple of examples, and what you can do is you can apply that to specific routes that you have, and apply it specifically to exactly to your route. Okay, now. Okay. Okay, you're going to be the receiver. I'll tell you what, you two guys be the receivers. You three guys are going to, I need one more guy to be right here. Okay, you two guys stay right there. Okay. You guys in the line right here. So 2 guys on each side facing each other. So let's get 2 guys on each side. And then 2 guys facing them on each side. So back off. Okay, right there, good. Okay, now. What you're going to do here on this one, this is a run after the catch drill, okay? This is a run after the catch drill. And what you're going to do is give these guys, and we don't have them out here, you're going to give these guys shields. Like, they're those kind of bags where they have handles on the sides. Everybody know what I'm talking about? The shields like this. And what they're going to do is they're going to have those shields, and they're going to be, I spread you out, that's good right there. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go down. Both you guys are going to go one after the other. He's going to go first. You're going to let him go through, and then you're going to be behind him in line. So you got your whole group of receivers in here doing this drill. Okay? Okay. And what you can do, you can change up the route. Like this one, for example, you're going to go down right before those guys, turn like a curl route. Okay? Catch the ball. And then what I want you to do is immediately, okay, after you catch it, okay, I want you to look it into your hands, tuck it away, and immediately get upfield. What I want you guys to do is kind of emulate like you got we don't have any shields out here, but emulate like you got shields, maybe push them a little bit, okay? And what you want to do is get vertical up the field right now and split those guys. Okay, here we go. Go. There you go. Okay. We have another ball. Go. Okay. Everybody get the idea. And what you can do with those shields is jam them, and you can also use it as a ball security drill. You can have 2 guys with shields in the front, jam them, and the 2 guys in the back now either have shields or not have shields and try to strip the ball out. Okay? So it can be a combination of catch the ball, tuck it away tight, and get turned up, but also ball security. Okay, and then obviously you can change up the route. Remember that route where we did the sit route for the tight end? Okay, get right out there. Tighten down a little bit. Okay, now you're going to just come from there, sit down right in front of him. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. Set, go. Okay. Whole idea of catching the ball and getting, tucking it away and getting upfield right now. Same thing. Go. Okay, everybody understand what we're trying to get there. Trying to get, number one is the guys looking the ball into their hands, looking it into the tuck, okay? Tucking it away tight, thank you. And then the whole idea of getting turned after you've ensured the catch, after you've ensured the tuck, getting turned and getting vertical up the field right now, okay? And then you've also got the whole deal of ball security, of them, you know, making sure they're squeezing the ball as they're going through those guys, but getting up the field right now after the catch, okay? And like I said, you can do that with a variety of different routes, okay? All different kinds of routes, and it'll apply, okay? Okay, let's go back to the classroom. This thing rewound properly, I'm going to, okay, that should be. Is there a chair anywhere? I'll just pull this right here. Because I don't want to be, well, no, this is good. I don't want to be standing in front of this thing, but I still want to be able to see it. Either way, let me know. Okay. Okay, what this is, like I started to tell you beforehand, and I don't know how good this this hand deal is here, but what this is a combination of all the West Coast offense teams, and runs after the catch and blocks after the catch. Classic examples of key plays. This one, obviously, right here would be an example of a run after the catch. What they're doing right here is just running a simple, San Francisco 49ers are running a simple slant flat combination. A slant on the outside, a flat by the tight end, that's Brent Jones running the flat. They're reading the flat defender. Obviously, the flat defender runs with Jerry Rice, or whoever that is up there. And this is a great job by this guy of catching the ball and getting upfield right now. One of the things that the 49ers do and that the West Coast offense teams do a great job of, Denver, Green Bay, is emphasizing in practice running after the catch, getting turned up right now after the catch, and getting going fast up the field. The one thing that's good about that, it's easy to do about this, is you can emphasize it even when you're in shorts. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, there's days where you have to practice in shorts, you don't have any choice. You can't go live. It's something you can do in high school football and spring practice. You know, really emphasizing running after the catch and running, you know, not more than 5 yards, giving them a distance, say 20 yards, 15 yards, where they have to run full speed up to that point. And you can see that's a tight end, Brent Jones. He's fast for pro football, but he's not a real fast guy. I mean, he's fast for normal football players, but he's not super fast for pro football. Now, one thing you can see too is the other receiver's trying to go block. Watch this backside receiver down here at the bottom. Trying to hustle to go block. Now, nobody gets a block there. There'll be some other examples on this tape. Okay, here's a great example of same thing, slant flat combination, and he catches the ball. The quarterback throws it a little bit short, a little bit on his back shoulder. He judges where the defender is, and he gets turned up fast. The outside guy that's running the slant is trying to find somebody to block. Watch him turn up and try to block. He doesn't block anybody, but he's trying. Leroy, you really got that heat going.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's going up. Okay, now this is a slant flat combination here. A little bit about, for those that were at the releases deal last night, this is a great job up top by this guy in bump and run coverage of pushing off, knocking the hands away right there at the last second, and getting back across on the slant, across the guy's body on the slant. And really, this isn't, he doesn't, it's not a great run after the catch, but the thing is it, and he gets upfield. He's going to catch it, and he's going to get, after the catch, he's going to get 4 more yards. Okay, this is Detroit on offense. Once again, the run after the catch, let's watch the slant guy on the outside. That's one of my old guys, Johnny Morton. He's not hustling very much. But the ideal point is that guy running the slant, if he doesn't get the ball, he should be blocking that safety right now. Receiver getting vertical up the field. Okay, now this is this is a slant flat combination on both sides. Okay, and he doesn't feel like he has anybody open on either side, so he's got the back over the middle. Now let's watch and see if these guys, they don't do a very good job of blocking after the catch, but Barry Sanders does a great job here at getting vertical up the field right now. Catches the ball and and this applies to all positions. Tight ends, receivers, backs. Okay, now this is that play that we did the drill on out there on the field. This, for the 49ers, is a play called 22Z, and where they're running a curl on the outside. It's a free release scat protection hot by the fullback, and the tight end is running a sit route over the middle. You can see the rhythm we were talking about last night. 2, 3, 4, 5, ball. Boom. This is an example of it's nothing outstanding, but he does do a good job right there of getting up the field. Not trying to run around him, and lose yards or, that kind of thing. Right there, he catches it, and he gets upfield. A lot of guys tackle him, but he gets upfield. Okay, another example of a catch and getting upfield right now. Catches the ball. His first reaction is up the field. Watch how he goes up the field right now. Doesn't make a whole lot of yardage here. He's up the field right now. Boom. This is Detroit. You know, a pretty good example of the tight end here now. You know, he doesn't do a great job, but he's trying. You know, he's trying to go block somebody. You know, he doesn't get the ball. The ball goes to the curl. He doesn't get the ball. Now, boom, he turns around upfield and he's looking to block somebody. He would have clipped the guy, so he decided not to block him. Okay, this is what's called a stick route. They're running a quick out by the tight end and a flat route by the back. You see the first movement. He catches it and he's going up the field. Up the field, boom. Another thing, watch the fullback here. He's running the flat route. The other guy gets the ball. Now watch what he tries to do. Tries to go block somebody up the field. Okay, this is a run after the catch. Tight end really is wrong there. He shouldn't be trying to block back behind the play. He should be turning up to block upfield. It's a good hard run here by this fullback after the catch. Ends up getting the first down because he runs hard. You know, this is a hard one. You got to, you know, he's getting hit right as he catches the ball. But 44 is trying, you know, the fullback here is trying to block. He's really behind the play, but he's trying to block. Might be trying to protect himself. Okay, this is the third part of the progression of this play. This is that same play. They're running the stick route, the out and the flat route here by the tight end and the fullback. Flat route by the fullback, short out route by the tight end right here. And if the Mike linebacker overruns it, then you got what that's called the spot route, opening up over the middle there. Third guy in the progression for the quarterback. This is a great job right here at catching the ball. You know, you could say, yeah, he's catching it and there's nobody there, but he does a great job here at getting up the field. Boom. You know, instead of right there too, this is Herman Moore, who's a big old physical guy. But right there, instead of, you know, trying to put a move on somebody, what he does is he says, hey, I'm going to just get what I can get and get up to him. And that's from emphasis and that's from drill work. Okay, let's take a look here at a block after the catch. Okay, not a great. Now this is number 4 in the progression here. Quarterback goes from the flat and the fullback and the tight end over here to the spot route over the middle to the swing. Okay, let's see what ends up happening here with the spot over the middle. See, he's not really hustling. But the receiver up top doesn't get the ball. He turns around. He goes and tries to block somebody. You know, I mean, that's not the guy that makes the tackle. You know, the safety makes the tackle. And really, if you look at it, if the guy that ran the spot route of Herman Moore had turned up and blocked the safety, or at least gone to try to get him, this might have been a touchdown. Because Barry Sanders makes that first guy miss. But the two guys upfield, the outside guy's trying. He's trying to block that corner. And really, you know, it's not a great job, but he gets in the guy's way. The other guy, if Herman Moore right there sees the ball's going to that outside guy, he should turn up right now and block that safety. Here's the same play. Another example. Third guy in the progression doesn't have the flat route, doesn't have the tight end on the out route. Goes to the third guy in the progression, and this guy catches it and gets upfield. Watch him. The first move that he makes, he catches it, he looks it in, he tucks it away, and then he gets upfield right now. Boom. And after contact right there, he makes 4 yards just because he's fighting to get upfield. 3 yards. Here's what's called a snag route. Outside guy's running a corner route. I'm sorry, the inside receiver up top is running a corner route. The outside guy is running a snag, what they call a snag, where he's coming from outside in, sitting down. The fullback is swinging. Now watch the block after the catch. Watch the guy. Now, you know, he's not a killer or anything here, but at least he's trying. Ball goes to the swing route. The guy running the snag goes and tries to block the first guy that shows.
He didn't do what you said last night of squaring up his shoulders to the line of scrimmage. That's why that guy got around him.
Exactly. Exactly right. This is also a good example of the guy catching the ball and getting up the field. Get up the field, up the field, up the field. Okay, let's see. This ball goes to the swing route. Let's watch the snag route. See if he sees the ball's not coming to him. Let's see if he turns up and blocks somebody. You know, once again, he's not a killer. You know, he could be a lot more physical than that, but he's trying. And you want to take it, you know, and that's also a fairly big physical mismatch, I think, between that receiver and linebacker there. But the point is that he's trying. And I think that's something that you really want to emphasize is, guys, number one, you know, obviously the whole point of this we're talking about is running after the catch and blocking after the catch. This is a great job here by this snag. Guy's playing a man-to-man. He comes in, guy's covering, he sees the guy's covering, he sees the ball goes to the swing route, and then he blocks that guy. Turns back and blocks it. And really, you know, what I said earlier, this goes a little bit against what I said. You should be blocking upfield. But he does a good job. He sees where that guy's right back on his back hip, so he turns right around and blocks it. You see the other guy on the corner route? He sees the ball going to the swing route, and he's going to turn up and block. Bad film right here. I'm going to let this go a little bit. Hopefully it'll correct itself. Okay, you can kind of watch this one here. Okay. Inside guy's trying. He's trying to go block. You know, the outside guy runs the snag. The ball goes to the swing. So now he's going to block that guy. He keeps trying, blocks, keeps trying to block. Has something to do with freeing that guy up right there. Sorry about this film right here. This is a great example right here of getting vertical after the catch. Can you guys see this one? It's hard, I know, but okay, see the snag guy coming in from the outside? The guy was in motion. He sits down right there. He gets vertical, catches the ball and gets vertical up the field. Catch the ball and get vertical. Right now, boom. I'm gonna let some of these go. This is just a out route where they're throwing the speed out. The one thing, on a different subject, great timing here by the quarterback. Watch the quarterback's drop, set, throw. He's 5 steps, fall, boom. Great timing. Okay, here's a great example of running after the catch. Ball goes to the back. And now really what the tight end should not have blocked back here. He should have turned up. But look at him trying to block here. It's a great job of running after the catch. Get up the field fast. Boom. This is what's called a middle read route against 2D. If there's a safety in the middle, they're going to break it off and run a dig. If there's the safeties divide, there's nobody in the middle, they're going to run it right up the middle. So when they have the 2 outs on the outside, obviously against cover 2, they're not going to fill the outs. So they're going to work the tight end down the middle to the 2 backs. What's called a drive route. Outside guys running a drag coming across. Tight end is running a dig. And the third guy in, which in this case is the back, is running a corner route. First guy in the progression is the drag coming across. Oh, sorry about that. It's a good job by Jerry Rice after he catches the ball. Fighting to get upfield right now. Catches the ball and gets upfield right now. Tough to get upfield after you get hit right there. So the drag coming across. Catches it and gets upfield. Gets upfield, 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 upfield. You can see where the first down marker is here. On about the 30-yard line. He catches that at the 23, and he does a great job of getting, after, even though he's running a lot of guys would have a tendency to catch the ball there and run out of bounds over here and let the defense, run them out of bounds. But he does a great job of getting upfield right there. That run after the catch had something to do with ability, I think. run after the catch, getting vertical. Here's a, this ball's the ball's on the 39. He catches this maybe at the 38, where he gets vertical up the field. The thing that's good about this, I don't know, last night we talked about, for those of you that were here last night, I think this is a great example of streak route here. And obviously, you can say, well, these guys are pros and they're great, but I think one of the things, the timing of it and the distance of the throw and the discipline of the receiver here are all things that I think you need to take into account. Receiver up top, remember we talked about just running full speed, not trying to put a bunch of moves on. Run full speed, I'm sorry, I rewound too far. Full speed up the field and running right at the defender and then giving him a little bit of a move and then just running right by him. If you come tight to his technique, and that's a fast corner right there. You come tight to his technique. See, when you come tight to his technique, right through his outside shoulder, that time where he has to turn his hips is the time where the ball's in the air and you've got a great chance to get separation between you and him. Now this ball lands, this ball was thrown, let's see where it's thrown from, 5 steps, thrown from the, 3 yards that side of the 50. Let's see how many yards it is. Yeah, it's about 48 yards in the air. Okay, these will be some good run after the catch. These are nakeds. Ball going to the tight end in the flat. Now really, okay, this is a great job of blocking by Johnny Morton here, but really he shouldn't have blocked back here. He should be turning upfield. Now the thing that you don't want to, with your guys, if a guy's going to make this much effort and get this much of a kill shot, you really want to tell them they did a good job. But ideally, what you want is him blocking up the field. But this applies. I know somebody talked about last night. I think it was I can't remember the guy that runs the wing tee. This is a lot. This is similar to all the bootleg things, and everybody runs play action passes. But if you get guys that are running drags and they're turning up, and look at Herman Moore there. He's the outside guy. He doesn't get the ball. Watch him break down. He doesn't get the ball. Boom. He turns around. He's blocking upfield. He may get an extra 4 yards for that receiver, that tight end turning up there. They're naked here. They did it with the motion with the Z on the back side. Motion coming off. Okay, here's a example of up top of the receiver blocking after the catch. Okay, this is a naked tight end in the flat. It's covered. He's got the crosser. Really, Herman Moore should have tried to block something. the crosser coming all the way across from the backside. That's a split end, lined up tight up there at the top, coming all the way across. Not really a point for running after the catch or anything, but okay. Okay, what we've got right now, that is what I had planned for this session. What we've got about 10 minutes here, and I'd like to be able to open it up for any questions about this subject, about any routes that you saw on the film, about anything. Anybody want the heat off?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you turn it off?
We've got a little, might take a while.
Thanks, Leeway. Okay, I'd like to open it up to any questions right now. Anything that anybody wants to talk about?
We saw the one example of the slant against property side coverage. Is there any other suggestions you have about that?
I'm sorry?
We saw the example of 49ers with the release on the slant. That's inside income coverage.
Right.
Do you have any other?
No, I think, to me, when you're running a slant, did everybody hear the question? It's talking about a slant route against bump and run coverage. He was talking about a slant route against bump and run coverage. And to me, what the receiver, and this, I could really take off on this subject. First of all, done a lot of research on the slant route and watched a lot of people run it. We did a bunch, and I've continued that research, and we did a bunch when we had Keyshawn Johnson, because he was a big physical receiver. And one of the things that we found on slants, which is different, and this ties in with your question, that was different than most people think about when they run slants, is a slant is a hard throw and catch if you run it the classical way. And what I mean by the classical way is 1, 2, 3, I plant, and I run at a 45-degree angle with my shoulders going this way, and the quarterback has to throw it to me, okay? And I know that sounds, that's the way you're supposed to run a slant. Well, one of the things that we did that I think really made a difference, when you do that, when the receiver's shoulders, when he's running full speed and his shoulders are like this, the radius that the quarterback has to throw in, if you were to use a radius, is about right here, okay? As far as where the spot is that he can throw in. What we've done, and what we will do, is on slants, when we plant the outside foot, we're going to come a little bit sharper than 45 degrees, and we're gonna have our hips and feet are going to be running, but our shoulders are going to turn to the quarterback. So we're going to give them our numbers, okay? So now the radius of the throw for the quarterback, in other words, somebody last night asked me about inaccurate quarterbacks. And, you know, I think this is a key point. Whether you're accurate or not, he has more of an area to throw the ball in. So in other words, now the radius is a full circle, okay? Now I can throw the ball behind him, I can throw it low, I can throw it high, and it's an easier catch for the receiver. It's an easier throw, and what we tell the quarterback is, put the ball on the receiver. You don't have to lead him perfectly out in front. Put it on him. And then what ends up happening on that is the defender, and then this will tie in with your question. What ends up happening, it ends up being like here's the quarterback right here.
Can't see, Coach.
I'm sorry. Okay, here's the quarterback right here. There's the angle of the throw, okay? Here's the defender right here. What ends up happening, it ends up being like if you're the defender and I'm the receiver, I end up boxing you out just like I'm rebounding in basketball. I get between the defender and the ball, and you end up, the only way that this guy can make a play on it is to go through the receiver, and he ends up getting a pass interference, or it ends up being a catch with a hit right there, or he misses the tackle. If you got a big guy, he misses the tackle right there, and you're going. Okay. Now to answer specifically his question, we always tell him on slants, okay, in bump and run, you've got to beat them inside. We are not. Now, okay, let me back up. I think the beginning point is, on a slant, we're going to beat them inside. But in our three-step drop game, we're going to have the capability of signaling, okay? Having the quarterback signaling, I'm not going to get into the detail of what we're going to use for signals, but they're visual signals. For the quarterback to signal to the receiver the best route against that coverage. So to answer your question, the starting point is, I'm going to do everything I can in bump and run to beat him across his face, okay? If I don't get a signal from the quarterback, I'm going to get into him, and I'm going to start to run a fade, okay? Because you've got to have, in your quick game, you've got to have the threat of the slant, you've got to have the threat of the fade, okay? Because it's hard for him, and that's kind of the way it's hard for him to play both of them, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to lean into the guy, start like we're on a fade, and then we're going to lean into him, start on the fade, and then we're going to either swim him or drive and duck underneath him, okay, drive and dip underneath him and get back inside of him. And then it ends up, when we do that, if we've done that right at the line of scrimmage, it becomes that whole concept of the receiver knowing the timing of the throw, and he can't just break it right from the line and start flat like that. Once he gets inside that guy and across his face, he's got to push into him. Remember what we were talking about last night about leaning and breaking, okay? That's what he's got to do in this situation. He's got to lean into the guy and break away. Now, one of the things that you're going to say is, well, that's going to take a long time. Well, when you run a slant in three-step drop against bump and run, the quarterback's got to hold the ball a little bit. Okay, that's one thing we told the quarterbacks is on our normal drop, on three-step drop, is one long, two short. I'm sitting on this foot and I'm throwing. But if I have bump and run on the slant, okay, I'm going to go one long, two short, hitch, and throw. Okay, so I'm going to let that receiver work a little bit. And your protection, and that's one of those deals where your protection has to be set up. Our deal does it so that all of the A and B gaps are protected. We slide protect our quick game so that the A and B gaps are protected, so the quarterback has a little bit of time to be able to do that. Obviously he can't take 5 seconds, but the A and B gaps should be protected so the quarterback has a chance to work a little bit to let that guy get open. Now, getting back to what I said, and I don't want this to be a cop-out, that would be what I would say to answer your question about what we would have to do to get open against a bump and run corner on a slant. But we also want to have within our system the capability of signaling to that receiver to run the best route against the coverage. And if they're playing me real far inside bump and run, we're going to try to run some fades against that. Some, not all. We're not going to convert our slant to a fade. But we want, and then we want to still be able to run the slant against that. Now the other thing that comes into play on that is double bump coverage, okay? Double bump coverage. And what I mean by that, and I don't know if this is your question at all, but it applies. You're in some kind of a slot formation and you have double bump, two contiguous defenders playing bump and run on your two receivers that are separated, okay, from the formation. Okay, what we would want to do is we'd want to run one of two things against that. We would signal on this. We would not try to run hitches against that. We would not try to run a slant flat combination with double bump. What we would do is we would signal. And one of the routes we would run is this guy would come down and pick. Now, that's a dirty word now for a lot of people. But what he's not going to block the guy. What he's going to do, he's going to come down. If he's the defender, he's going to come down, get in his way, and turn around and look for the ball. Make him have to bubble over the top. Okay? And then this guy's going to start into this guy and run a wheel. And this guy is going to have to come down and cover him. And so you're going to end up with a big ball of people right there that guy's going to have to fight through to get to the wheel. Okay? Another route that I like against that is what we call the China route. We signal this also against double bump. Okay? We got two defenders and bump coverage. The quarterback's going to signal to them. We're going to run a 6-yard corner route. He's going from 6 to 12. Okay? This outside receiver is going to fight out and then come underneath him. Okay? And basically we're trying to throw the ball there. But if for some reason they try to bump it, which most people won't, but if they're trying to play like a banjo, inside, outside, where this guy bumps him off, all of a sudden that guy will come wide open coming underneath him. But we're going to try to throw a double bump. We're going to try to throw the corner out to that guy. And it's still 3 steps. It's 6 yards now, so once again, he has to let that guy work a little bit. But that's a good route. Those two are really good routes against double bump against a slot set. Okay, other questions about anything? Anything we've talked about? Anything that you came to this clinic to talk about?
Any specific way how you teach your receivers to block downfield? Just get in the way or something? How do you?
Okay. Did you come to the thing last night?
No.
Okay. Okay. Without going, being extremely repetitive for the rest of the guys that came last night, because we had a session on stock blocking, and the blocking downfield, and really, I kind of skipped over the technique of all that because of the fact that we covered it last night, and I didn't want to be repetitive. But to put it in a nutshell, basically what I want to do is I want to break down on you about just a little more than an arm's length away. Okay, I want to be in a football position. Okay. So I want to sink my butt down, have my chest out, my head up. I want to try to put my nose on your inside number, and I want to keep my shoulders squared to the line of scrimmage. Okay? And I'm gonna mirror you. I'm gonna have my hands in here. I'm gonna mirror you until you do something. If you're playing cat and mouse with me, I'm just gonna stay with you. As soon as you make a move to go get the guy I'm blocking for, whether it's a receiver on a run after the catch or on a run play where we're blocking, it's exactly the same technique. It just happens a little faster on a on a pass, okay, because I gotta get my head around and I gotta get right into that position right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down on you, and as you come at me, I'm gonna jam with my hands, just like a pass protect, just like an offensive lineman pass protect. I'm gonna jam with my hands up, striking on the rise up through you, and exploding with my legs and my strength. And I'm gonna strike, okay, and then I'm gonna recoil. Okay, I'm gonna strike and recoil. Because what's gonna end up, or there'll be those situations where the guy, if he doesn't try to come right through me, if he comes at an angle where I'm actually gonna go after him, I'm gonna strike and just drive him. Get my head in front and just drive him. That's a nutshell. Okay? That's not a detail. Okay. Other questions? Yes, sir.
One real quick one. I don't know if you had it last night. Do you have drills for yards after catch or for after contact? You know, they catch, they make contact. Do you have any kind of drills designed for them to continue after they make contact?
Yeah, and that would be the one we did out on the field, where you got the shields, where they catch the ball, they split the defenders, and they get used. The guys with the shields jam them, and they work to get upfield like that. That would be one of them. I think another one is now this is going to sound real simple and basic, but like I said, a lot of times those are the best things. We like to do, something, and it's going to, I'm a big believer in the passing game. You have different levels of challenge or competition, if that makes any sense. So in other words, what I mean by that is, what we'll do is I don't need to write this down. I guess, starting from the most basic point, we'll just go quarterbacks and receivers throwing routes, just against air. Right? Then we'll go to what we call patterns versus air. Okay, so in other words, we'll get the whole group up. It's like and this, what I'm doing is I'm working up the ladder of the degree of difficulty, okay? Where we'll have the whole route, whole pattern, with all the people involved except the offensive line. And we'll go through the whole route against air, with no defender. Because you have to complete it against air before you can complete it against people. And in that drill, okay, we will emphasize run after the catch there. We'll emphasize run after the catch against air. In other words, they're going to catch the ball, and I'm going to emphasize, and that's something we're going to do, emphasize catching the ball and getting up the field right now. And the other guys who don't get the ball, we're going against air, there's no defenders out there, getting in the habit of turning up and blocking. Okay? Then the next level after that is 7-on-7. Okay? And you do the same thing on that. You emphasize running after the catch and blocking after the catch, turning up and blocking after the catch. The next one we call is 7-on-7 with a rush. Okay, and what I mean by that is we'll do a 7-on-7 where we'll have, a lot of times you have 7-on-7 going on at the same as your offensive and defensive line are doing pass rush. Okay, we'll bring them down and just have two of them, not the whole line. We'll just say we'll have the guard and the tackle going against the defensive tackle and defensive end. And they'll do pass rush, and they'll do games and all kinds of stuff. And those two guys have to work together. We'll work left guard, left tackle, center and left guard, center and right guard, right tackle, with guys going against them. So that the quarterback has to get used to, there's two things involved there. This is, sometimes we underestimate this. The quarterback gets used to making decisions with all kinds of bodies flying around in front of him, okay? And the other part of that is the receivers need to see the ball coming out of people, okay? Because a lot of times what happens is receivers in 7-on-7 get used to seeing the ball leave the quarterback's hand, the whole deal, and it's in the air the whole time. And in a game, in the real world, in a game, when you want them to make the catch, a lot of times they won't see it leave the quarterback's hand. They'll see it about a third of the way in flight, okay, the first time they see it. Okay, then the next thing we'll do is we'll do a blitz drill. Excuse my printing. We'll do a blitz drill where we'll go with with our 11 on offense against the defense, blitzes without DBs playing. Okay, so in other words, we'll be running the routes against air, okay, but we'll be doing blitzes. And what that does, and this is probably a lot more than you asked for, but it just made me think of this. We feel like that does, number one, it helps you to handle blitzes, handle pressure. It makes sure you know that everybody knows who they're blocking on all the different blitzes you're going to encounter versus a specific team. And it develops a trust and a confidence between the quarterbacks and the receivers that when the blitz happens, that you're going to be able to, the quarterback's going to step up and make the throw. The ball's going to come out of people again for the receivers. And the receivers are not, what ends up happening, and the reason we've done this is when you have a blitz drill, DBs cheat. There's a natural inclination for them to cheat because it's not a game, and they end up playing tighter, and they squeeze your routes, and they cheat. So what we do is we just take them out of there and just take them out and do something else. Okay? And then the next level is like a pass, like a team pass drill, where you go 11 on 11, and you give them a situation. Say it's third, you give them third down situations, and you work team pass, where everybody's in there, and they're doing a variety of different coverages, and you keep score. And if the offense can get above 50% on third down conversions, now that means I'm saying 3rd and 3 plus. Okay, in other words, so you go like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11. These are real hard for the offense. And you keep scoring. How many did they get? When defense stops them, and you have the chains out there and the whole deal. I think that's a great deal. As far as and you work on what you would do in those situations. But anyway, what this is like a kind of a progression of difficulty from a canned, rehearsed situation into a real life situation. Okay? And going back to what you said, on these lower levels of this progression, you emphasize the run after the catch and the block after the catch.
And you better emphasize it, man. Hey, Stud.
How you doing, Bill?
Get this on video. One of the great guys in the coaching profession. I'll see you later.
Good to see you.
Same to you, man. Hey, congratulations on your job, man.
Thanks.
That's great, man.
I'm
I'll see you
excited.
later.
Okay. We are at the end of our first session, and appreciate you guys' attention, and we'll be back in here whenever the next one starts. See you guys later.